committed to you. Fox Carolina, the 6 o'clock news starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shale Remien. Thanks for being with us here at 6 o'clock. Well, the student killed in a school shooting is being laid to rest today. Jamari Jackson is the 12-year-old who was tragically killed at Tanglewood Middle School almost a week and a half ago. Family and friends came to Relentless Church this afternoon to say their goodbyes to this boy. Now, Jamari's family releasing this statement to us today saying, quote, as the family lays Mari to rest today, they would like to thank the many people and organizations for their thoughts, prayers, and donations and expressions of kindness extended to them during this unimaginable tragedy. They ask for your continued prayers of comfort in the coming weeks as they are left to fully embrace a new normal without their beloved Mari. Now, it was a week and a half ago gunfire rang out in the school hallways. We know another 12-year-old student shot Jamari Jackson right in the chest. An SRO calling for backup, and within minutes, a swarm of law enforcement covered Tanglewood Middle and the surrounding areas. 12-year-old Jamari Jackson went to school that day and left in an ambulance where he later died. Now, we cannot release the shooter's name as he is a minor, but we can tell you he's currently locked up in Columbia. We do have more about Jamari's funeral inside of our free Fox Carolina News app. Developing right now, a woman falls out of a moving car and dies in Greenville County. The coroner just releasing her name is 22-year-old Mahogany Beasley. Troopers responded to this horrific accident. It happened just after midnight on Worley Road. We know Beasley was sitting on the opening part of the front passenger side of the window as that car was moving. Now, she accidentally fell out onto the roadway, and Beasley was taken to the hospital, but unfortunately, she did not make it. And the search continues at this hour for a man accused of shooting someone in the head. Take a good look at your screen, please. Nathan Mccall is still on the run tonight out of Oconee County. He sparked a massive manhunt after deputies say he shot and killed someone along Horseshoe Lane. And we were actually alongside the scene that just kept getting larger and larger last night. Deputies brought in SWAT, and once they got inside the house, there was no sign of Mccall. Now, Mccall is still out there. Like I said, tonight he is considered dangerous. If you know anything about where he might be, you can remain anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers. And we want to get a look at our forecast with First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. Bob, it was kind of confusing when as I was coming in today, half the sky was cloudy, it felt some raindrops, and the other half was wide open sky. Beautiful.
Pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see those rain shafts, and then we've got the blustery and cold conditions shale, and we're going to clear skies out tonight. That's going to set us up for a frost and freeze. So that's why tomorrow, Sunday, especially in the morning, we have a First Alert weather day at that time, not only for the frost and freeze, but also for slick roads in the higher elevations from the snow you've been picking up. But looking outside right now, it's beautiful. More in the way of blue skies. You can see how we have some of the rain shafts dangling from some of those clouds. Still some scattered showers, but we're going to clear things out, and that's going to set us up for a cold night. You're going to want to cover or bring in those plants, as we do have a freeze warning now for Rabun County, back through parts of Pickens into Greenville, Spartanburg, and the mountains as well. Now, the rest of the mountains do not have any kind of freeze warning because the growing season hasn't started yet, but they're going to see a freeze there. And then for the rest of us, it is a frost advisory. Toccoa, south of I-85. So everybody should just bring in the plants just to err on the side of caution, or at least cover them up and bring them closer to the house. Here's your wake-up forecast on Sunday. It's going to be cold. We're looking at temperatures low to mid-30s, maybe a little warmer downtown Greenville, but it's going to be cold. And we're looking at a hard freeze in the mountains, many places into the upper 20s. So once again, take care with those tender plants, as right now it's no bargain out there. It's cold, 40s and 50s, even 30s and 40s in the mountains. Brevard 42, 40 in Asheville, 44 in Hendersonville, 52 in Greenville, and 52 in Lawrence. And these temperatures drop off very quickly as we go through the evening hours. Here's First Alert radar, a visible satellite picture showing the skies clearing up across the upstate. Still some scattered light showers, but they'll be diminishing here in the next hour, and still seeing the snow showers across the mountains. You can see some of the green indicating the showers across the upstate. In the mountains, some of that snow is coming down pretty hard, especially above 3,000 feet. So really take it slow out there. Some of these roads will be slick through the overnight into tomorrow morning, as we still have a winter storm warning through areas right along the Tennessee, North Carolina line, and also a winter weather advisory. And that goes until 2 a.m. as we're seeing that snow across the mountains. That will start to diminish as we go through the overnight hours, but watch out for those slick roads in the morning. We clear things out in the morning, and it's going to be cold once again with that frost and freeze. And then by the afternoon, much nicer conditions, a big warm up with lots of sunshine and clear skies. But tonight, skies clear out. It's going to be cold. We're looking at that frost and freeze. I'm expecting a low around 33. Some of those protected valleys in the upstate at freezing or a little bit below, and in the mountains a hard freeze. 29, mostly clear and cold, and you can see that first alert day as we go into your Sunday. That's because we have the morning frost and freeze, but then look at the afternoon, 70, and talk about a dramatic warm-up. Mid-70s Monday, lower 80s Tuesday into Wednesday, increasing showers maybe Wednesday, especially Thursday. We get a break Friday, and then Saturday it does look like we have more showers. And then for the mountains, watch out for those slick roads in the morning with that frost and freeze. 65, and then you warm up through the 70s, and we're looking at increasing showers Wednesday into Thursday, then again on Saturday. So this could be the last of winter with this frost and freeze because we have a big warm up on the way. Shale?
Yeah, gotta like to see that, Bob. Thank you. We're going to switch gears now. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is calling for even more pressure on Russia, this surrounding defense and sanctions. And this comes after Zelensky met with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson just one day after a deadly railway station strike. We do need to warn you, some of the images in this next story are extremely graphic. Cole Higgins has the latest.
A stunning show of solidarity. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson traveling to Kyiv for a surprise meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The press service of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine quoting Zelensky in a tweet Saturday as saying, Johnson is one of the most principled opponents of the Russian invasion, a leader on sanctions pressure on Russia and defense support for Ukraine. Welcome to Kyiv, my friend. Johnson says the UK is, quote, setting out a new package of financial and military aid to Ukraine. This as fears mount that Russia may be getting desperate to seek victory by any means necessary.
Civilians were crushed by tanks while sitting in their cars in the middle of the road, just for their pleasure. They cut off limbs, slashed their throats. Women were raped and killed in front of their children. Their tongues were pulled out only because the aggressor did not hear what they wanted to hear from them.
Horrific images from the aftermath of a Russian strike on a train station in Kramatorsk Friday. The attack killing at least 52 people, including 5 children. Almost 100 others wounded in the blast.
We expect a firm global response to this war crime.
They raise everything to new levels. And I think what we're going to see is a maximum imposition of these sanctions. But unfortunately, it takes time to stop this invasion because sanctions take time to work.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Just awful details coming out of Ukraine, but there is some good news. The Stand Up for Ukraine global pledging event and campaign aimed to help these people fleeing Russia's invasion has actually raised more than 10 billion euros since it first launched on March 26. Now that's according to a statement from the European Commission. Now those funds will help to cover the needs of people displaced by this horrific violence in and out of Ukraine. And for the first time since Russia invaded Ukraine, journalists were able to see U.S. troops train right on the ground there in Poland. U.S. and Polish forces publicly showing off that they might of the West in the bilateral live fire training exercises. A U.S. official says approximately 11,000 U.S. troops are deployed in this NATO country. There's a visible sign of larger military ramp up right near Ukraine.
What is the message you're sending to Russia?
We are strong, we cooperate with our forces from the all NATO. We are ready for any action. We are ready to defend our country.
Yeah, as you heard him just say, paratroopers also say they are ready when needed. And happening next week, President Biden will be in the Tar Heel state, the White House announcing the visit to Greensboro. Now, not much is known about the trip at this time, but the president is expected to discuss rebuilding the nation's supply chain while trying to bring down costs. The president's last trip to the North Carolina was back in November when he and the First Lady visited Fort Bragg. Well, all new at 6, the Red Cross of South Carolina is working to keep you safe by giving out smoke detectors today. It's all part of their smoke alarm blitz. The American Red Cross is sounding the alarm quite literally to install 50,000 free smoke alarms this spring across high-risk neighborhoods across 50 cities. It's a simple way for families to protect themselves.
There's teams of 4 that's going house to house, knocking on doors. Every door in the Mill Village will be knocked on and given an opportunity to let these teams come in and install these 10-year lithium battery fire alarms for them.
Now, each year, the Red Cross responds to more than 60 disasters, most of which are fire-related. This is just one step closer to meeting their goal to reduce fire-related deaths and injuries in the U.S. by 25%. Well, more than $250 million on the line for this Saturday's Powerball drawing. An estimated $268 million is up for grabs. The winner could take home the jackpot as an annuity paying out over 29 years, or choose to take home $171.1 million in cash. The jackpot has been growing since Valentine's Day, and the odds of winning are 1 in 292 million, but hey, it could be you. You can watch that drawing live here at 10:59 p.m. tomorrow night. And for the latest on these stories and news anytime, be sure to download our free Fox Carolina News app. We're going to be keeping up with the latest happenings here in our viewing area in the upstate and the mountains before the 10 o'clock news. But the best way to keep in touch with us is that free Fox Carolina News app.